Hey guys, welcome to Talented Trevor. I'm your host today, Trevor Shelley, and today on my podcast I have.
The Last Savior, Elliot Shot.
Alright, Elliot, what sparked your interest in the professional wrestling industry?
I just grew up with it pretty much, man. There was this one time where my brother was watching it. I was just positive trained him. I was like 5 years old, and he was watching the Kane versus Kane feud at the time. And
That was when
that was like '06. Yeah, Luke Gallows was playing Kane, and like the storyline was trash. But like to me, as 6 years old, I was like, dude, you're fucking wrestling yourself, bro. That's the greatest thing I've ever seen. But since then, I've just been hooked our balls.
you were your wrestling to wrestling idolizing.
I'd say Kurt Angle, Eddie Guerrero. I don't like saying his name, but Chris Benoit and Bret Hart. Those were my favorites growing up. Just like idolizing because they were the reason I got into wrestling. So I thought they made it look so legitimate for me.
Where'd you get your start?
I started looking up schools to train at around like 2019, 2020. I didn't start training until 21 though. Once I got my car and license figured out. So
Then you went with Firestar.
yeah, Firestar Pro Wrestling. I started training over there in September of 2021. LeBron Gozo being my coach, really good mentor, really good trainer. Trains with some of the best wrestlers you've seen in your life.
What was your first wrestling match?
Intense. I feel like intense mentally. You know, my first match was in Mother's Day of 22. So I was training a year ahead at the time. So to get my first match, I was going through the motions. I was nervous, excited, but overall it was just intense against me. Every rep to get signed. Like you know what I'm saying? That's the goal, man. Who doesn't want to make it to WWE or AEW or TNA or just TV period? You know what I'm saying? Like if I can get on TV, that's the main.
Can you describe your wrestling characters or cinematic?
Yeah, I can describe it. You want like a summary of what who I am, or just like characteristics? I'm pretty much like a brash, self-centered narcissist. Pretty much, I ask people to worship me just because I provide you guys whatever I need is necessary. So, like, if I think that somebody deserves an ass whooping, for example, I'm going to provide you that. If you want entertainment, I'm going to provide you that. All I ask for in return is just our praise, you know?
Can you share your memorable moment?
Uh, Probably winning my first championship. Like, I won it a year into World Wrestling. It's my first national championship, United States Championship. That was a real big one for me. If I had never held any gold whatsoever.
Basically, you know, this next person. How do you handle this influence?
I think of what keeps me motivated as a factor to keep going. Like, whenever I'm stressing out, whenever I'm doubting myself, do whatever, and I'm just thinking this is not working. I try and figure out what makes it work. That's always been a
Alright, so there's your restrictions, which we talked about it before. So,
you name the stuff after me.
so original plan was we talked about it before.
Right.
That's alright. So mine is like business means you know sort of mine is 6 questions for each 50 seconds.
Alrighty.
No, you ready?
Yeah.
You
You go snacks. Pops.
so
Go song. I'd say not enough about early news.
favorite wrestler villains,
Pretty.
favorite sports,
Really have sports. I don't watch sports.
favorite villains, favorite countries.
Rock.
Give it a second.
Probably didn't beat the record. Dang it, man. Hey. All right.
What are the biggest
Seriously. Traveling has been Like some of us can do that. So overall, we come up with so many different ideas, and it's hard to mesh all into them. But typically, when we do that, I think it's
You could, you could wrestle mute, legendary.
a lot of them. Ah, yeah. I probably wrestle, probably wrestle Burning just because of how intense he was. So like, I'm talking like prime Burning, so like 2007, 2008. Saying like that man scared me. Oh man, girl,
Get it. Somewhere.
any wrestler. I'd love to pick out Chad Gable if possible. Yeah, I feel like he's been one of my favorites that as of recent, honestly. And just like the way he wrestles is so similar to some of my favorites growing up. I'd love to pick his brain and see how he those things.
Bringing back the Kurt Angle story.
Oh man, yeah.
You can, I mean, wrestling legend.
Legend as my mentor. Probably say Bret Hart. Simply for the fact that he was one of my favorites watching. So and he was so articulate with what he did. So I'd love to have a chance for him to teach me how to.
What's your opinion on certain some sports? So, yeah, this
It's fine, you know what I'm saying? It creates a buzz to the business as a whole. So I think overall, it just does good business. So I think it's good for everybody.
what advice would you give them?
Stay the course. Stay the course. You're going to run into a lot of obstacles. You're going to run into a lot of people, a lot of naysayers, a lot of downsides. But as long as you stay the course, stay nurturing, keep well. Significant rivalry. Let me take it back to the first off. Uh, especially that so had given me an opportunity to really showcase myself, and it really helped me grow to the sense of what I needed to do as the hero of the story. And I owe it a lot to him because he was able to push that out. Uh, I clicked with a few people, I feel like. Uh, I hate to say it, but for Extreme World Wrestling, there was a guy named Bobby Valentine. I wrestled him on a handful of occasions, but I think again, I can't shoot that. Uh, all our matches were hard hitting, all our matches were intense, all our matches won the fans over.
Did you describe your training process?
Training process was simple, simple yet intense, I guess you could say, because it was a matter of sacrifice that I had to go through with a lot. I hadn't been used to falling down. I hadn't been used to taking all these bumps. I hadn't been used to letting my body maneuver in ways that I never thought I would, would allow it to maneuver. So it was a challenging process, very intense, especially with the body. You're going to get intensity every single time you train, let alone wrestling. So, with that being said, that was, my training process as a whole was pretty challenging. But once you got used to my body, got accustomed. Outside of wrestling,
And people were like,
and nothing, but I did for this. No, it's not. It's not. It's not. enjoyed the ones I got. I was pretty the red one. Like, stuff down. Second set, shots, side, white, black, text that I had. I think that. Find me on Instagram at Elliot Shot. You can find me on Facebook at Elliot Shot. You can find me on X on Twitter. Follow me at Elliot Shot. And as well as you look up my name on YouTube, you'll see my YouTube channel where I post all of my matches.
Thank you. Thanks, sponsors. Go to the link tree on the profile. Company.
Sounds like one week.